This is Japan, the one we all know. A vibrant, modern nation, ancient, iconic traditions, incredible foods, all integrated well into one solid national identity. But then, there's this. This is also a part of Japan. People with distinct language, different clothes, different gods, different faces. The indigenous people of Japan in the northern wilderness of what we know now as Hokkaido. So, why have most of us never heard of them? Why do they seem so hidden from the Japan we think we know? This is the story of Ainu, Japan's indigenous people, and how Japan tried to make them disappear, all to build an idea of one unified nation. For thousands of years, the Ainu lived across the northern islands of Japan, Hokkaido, and its surroundings.
I was born Hokkaido, the northernmost island of Japan, the land of the Ainu tribe, the most ancient of all Japanese.
They were hunter-gatherers and fishers, living a life deeply connected to nature. Their entire world was governed by animism, the belief that every object, animal, and natural element has a spirit, a god called Kamoi. The bear was a supreme spirit. After a hunt, they'd hold the Ayomenti ceremony, a respectful farewell sending the spirit back home with honor. To understand this conflict, we have to understand just how fundamentally different Ainu culture was from the southern, powerful Japanese majority, the Yamato people. Let's take a look at their livelihoods. The majority Yamato people of Japan practice commercial agriculture, while the Ainu practice seasonal hunting and gathering. In spirituality, Yamato acknowledge Shinto with their shrines, while Ainu worship the Kamoi, or the spirits, not in temples, but in nature itself. While the Yamato had clear hierarchical societies, the Ainu had fluid egalitarian societies, where all individuals were treated equally. The distinction was visible even in their clothing, the layered silk of the kimono versus the hardy bark fiber robes with distinct geometric patterns. Also, their cultural appearances. In the late 1800s, Japan experienced rapid modernization under the Meiji Restoration, a period when Japan was ending its military dictatorship regime and restored the political power back to the emperor, making him the symbolic head of the new centralized government. The main goal of Meiji Restoration was to strengthen Japan so that they can compete with Western powers and prevent being dominated. Therefore, they needed a unified, powerful nation, and that required control. This was a pivotal moment. They saw the Ainu as a glitch in the system that needed to be fixed with assimilation, a practice in which the Ainu as the minority needs to abandon their culture and adopt a larger, more dominant Japanese culture. Their motive for doing this is purely political and economic. First, geopolitics. They needed to officially claim Hokkaido as their territory to secure their border against Russia. Resources. The northern forests and fisheries were seen as valuable resources for the booming Japanese economy, and the Ainu stood in the way of large-scale exploitation. But the most powerful reason was the construction of mono-ethnic myth, the idea that Japan was one pure race. The Ainu, with their different everything, were a problem. They threatened the very foundation of the national identity the government was trying to sell to its people and to the world. Therefore, the Japanese government enacted a law called the Hokkaido Former Aborigines Protection Act in 1899. The title sounds good, but inside of it was a terrible irony. It was a tool for forced assimilation. The Ainu were stripped of their ancestral lands, banned from hunting and fishing, and forced into unfamiliar ways of farming. Their language, their robes, and their facial tattoos all outlawed. They were forced to adopt Japanese names. All done to eliminate every single proof that the Ainu people existed as a separate culture in Japan. It's a case of internal colonialism. The exploitation of a domestic minority's land and resources by the majority. The Ainu didn't just lose their culture, they lost their ability to live, leading to poverty, disease, and decades of intense discrimination. It's a dark chapter that many of people in Japan were taught to ignore. Despite the injustice of forced assimilation, the Ainu people have been very resilient. They kept their stories and traditions alive, often in secret, passing down traditions orally, called yukar. Finally, after decades of activism, a pivotal moment arrived in 2019, when the Japanese government formally recognized the Ainu as indigenous people of Japan.
Ainu finally won recognition
as indigenous
people for the very first time.
Even though this recognition doesn't fix the past, it finally validates their truth and allows for government funding to support the revival of their culture, such as the establishment of Upopoi, National Ainu Museum, in which I get to visit in Shiraoi, Hokkaido when I got the chance while I traveled there. The Ainu story is very crucial because it shatters the illusion of monoethnic nation. Japan's biggest modern challenge, its aging population and labor shortage, destroys the idea of one race nation and clashes with the country's economic needs. I am from Indonesia, a nation that has completely different stance on that idea as we have over 1,000 of ethnic groups and over 700 of different languages. Imagine how hard it is to unify them all. Although we have a national motto of unity in diversity, we call it Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, and we do unite as a nation despite ethnic differences. I can say as Indonesian myself, we are not that strong in national identity, unlike Japan. Okay, for instance, when I go abroad and I meet people from all over the world, mostly when they ask, "Where do you come from?" I'm from Indonesia. And they don't know where it is. And I say, "Do you know Bali?" "Oh yes, I know Bali." Bali is Indonesia. Unlike Japan, our national identity is so complex and harder to market. However, I do believe that there are other better ways to have better national identity than to pushing out the minorities. It's a clear ethical thing to do. So one of the reasons why I came up with this channel is that I also want to tell more about what Indonesia has to offer to the world, not just Bali. We are so diverse in cultures and nature. Please let me know what you want to know about Indonesia and I'll make a video of it. Put the comments down below. Back to Ainu. The Ainu survival is a powerful universal lesson. With you watching this video, you have given a meaningful contribution to the acknowledgement of the Ainu people and culture. Their fight is a reminder that every country has its hidden stories, and seeking those truths isn't about blaming. It's about building a better, more inclusive future. Thanks for watching, and if you want to support this channel, please help to like, subscribe, and share it to others. Let me know what you want me to cover next, and I'll see you next time.